Hello, what it do? It's your boys, the Primitive here, the God, and I want to talk about Daniel versus Eli. Now, excuse me, when I did like a power scaling video, I said that Eli over current Daniel, not special body Daniel, but this Daniel, and everybody was cooking me like, what? Oh my God, Daniel did better against a stronger opponent who wasn't trying versus Eli and Warren who beat up an opponent that was trying, and it was high diff, extreme diff, whatever diff, yada yada yada. And my argument is that writers, when they're writing a story, often, and I'm writing a story myself now, I know who the most powerful people are, but certain circumstances and instances will make other people look more powerful, right? Because context matters, right? Um, and also, you want to create narrative, um like a narrative suspense, right? Because if you don't know who that guy was, and if Eli went through and just walked through him, it's like, okay, then he didn't have to work hard to save Hostel, he didn't have to work hard to save his family, right? So, and Lucasm does this a lot. Like when Eli fought Ollie, like it wasn't supposed to be close, right? Ali wanted to lose because he wanted retribution for causing the death of their friend. You know what I mean? But while reading it at the time, because of suspense, and he does this quite often in a lot of his fights, he makes it look like one person's winning and then the other person comes out on top. When you're writing a story, you're not writing it for thinking of power scaling. You're writing it thinking of suspense. You're writing it thinking of making it interesting, intrigue, and all of that. And that's just how it goes. It does not mean, if A beats B easier than whatever. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't power scale like a UFC. It's kind of like MMA match where it doesn't matter all the time, right? Just because, let's say, Adesanya runs to somebody doesn't mean that Pereira will, or if Pereira runs to somebody doesn't mean that Adesanya will. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't. It's not 1+1 = 2. That's just not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Because you're writing a story. You're not thinking about, oh damn, this guy punched him 3 times, and if this character outscales the other character, he has to punch him only twice. If he punches him 10 times, then he must be weaker than the other character because he only punched him 3 times. It's just not how somebody writes a fucking story. Like, and it's so frustrating having this discourse online sometimes because people don't realize that that's just not how people that write stories write stories. You know what I'm saying? Like Oda, when he's writing One Piece, is not thinking, oh man, let me go back to Marineford. Oh no, Shanks scared of all the Marines, or didn't really scare them, but he said, I'll get involved. And obviously they don't want to fight that many fucking young guys at the same time, but sure, I'll get involved if y'all don't stop right now. And they stopped because, again, the goal was Ace. They killed Ace. That's all they cared about. First is, let's say, Mihawk being there and swinging his sword around with no named attacks and barely even trying, and then saying, oh dude, like, Shanks' presence is more powerful than Mihawk's attacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't add up, bro. Because if you look back the power scaling from Marineford to currently, it doesn't add up and it doesn't make sense, right? Because that's not how people who write stories are thinking. So that's why I want us to talk about more narratively. Now, some stuff you can power scale. I'm not saying power scaling is impossible, right? But it's like pixel power scaling. Like, if you look at, remember Set the Programmer, freaking pixel, like, oh, this many pixels. This, like, ain't no fucking author sitting down there doing fucking math, like, in order to fucking figure out how much faster than light, or how much faster than this, or how much, it's a 500 multiplier. Unless they say it's a fucking 500 multiplier, it's not. It's just as fast and as strong as it needs to be for that scene. That's really most writers, bro. Like, I'm just telling you, like, I'm writing a novel, like, promise you, bro. Like, and I'm thinking of power scaling a little bit, and even I'm not going to the details of this feat by this feat by this feat. I just know that this person's strong and this person strong and this person. If they fought, this person win, and that's it. The fight could be, that person could defeat somebody that your man extreme diff, right? and they might do it easy diff just because compatibility of powers, tactics, whatever, state of mind, all of that stuff, right? And then when they face off, that person that low diff the other guy still loses mid diff, because that's just, you know what I'm saying? That, like, when we're writing stories, it's all about, we know who is over who, but simultaneously we're thinking like, how do I make this part compelling? We're not thinking in 200 chapters this might happen, so maybe I should you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm saying all that because Eli versus Daniel might win, right? He might win, and it will be extreme diff. We know that it's going to be extreme diff. But narratively, it makes sense now that he's about to overcome him, right? And, you know, as we know, in these guys get stronger every fight. So the more fights they have, the stronger they get, right? And they get power buffs and power buffs and power buffs. Now, what I actually think will happen here, right, is that I think, and so I went for like a long spiel and rant. What I think will happen here is that Daniel and Eli will fight, right? Warren will fight probably Zach or Vasco or somebody, right? Because they already met Eli, but they have more people. There was more of them than Eli and Warren. So Eli and Warren might even 3v2 them, right? Which I think narratively would make for the most enticing fight, simply because we haven't seen Vasco and Zach shine in a very, 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 very long time. In a very, very long time. Like, properly shine. You know what I'm saying? The fighting style is so horrendous to watch. It's kind of sad. While Daniel has like this slick fighting style that actually looks cool. But yeah, I think Daniel's team will win. But I don't think Daniel is gonna just 1v1 Eli. I think Warren will probably stop Eli and be like, we are becoming the people we don't want to be. I think that's how it's probably gonna go. And I think that adds up, that makes sense. And also the guys have Warren's actually gonna be fighting. He's gonna be fighting the sword. He's gonna be fighting Jake's sword. So if that's the case, it has to be a 3v1 versus Eli then, right? So if it's 3v1 versus Eli, the guys will win, but I think it'll still be extreme or hard diff. And I think that will basically prove that Daniel is not stronger than Eli currently, right? But I think the outcome will still prove that Daniel and Eli are way closer than everybody thinks, and that Jake is above both of them, which I've been telling people. But listen, nobody's gonna listen until it happens in the story. But I don't think Jake and Daniel are ever gonna fight, because they've been on the same side for so long now. Even though, like, you can say Eli and Daniel were on the same side, but unlike Eli, Jake isn't afraid in the same way. Like, he ain't got kids and shit to take care of. He had a street and he already lost that shit. You know what I'm saying? And he will be defiant throughout. He don't bend, he don't fold. You know what I'm saying? But Eli does, because he cares about these kids, and he doesn't want them to be in a situation that he was in. Jake he'll bite the bullet, bro. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, what you guys think will happen in the fight? I just went on a rant about power scaling, so I don't even know what to title this video. But Daniel versus Eli, who do you guys think will win and why? Comment down below, leave a like. I mean, listen, the only people that leave like and subscribe and leave real comments, not some bum ass not explainable comments, proper comments, are those that are on that gun and goo level. You know what I'm saying? Like, only the Eugenes and the peons don't leave a like and subscribe. That's what I'm saying. It's been your boy Supreme Shady God. I'm out.